Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for some more War Thunder high-tier Japanese tank action. This is a battle from the 5th of February. And the battle lasted so long that it exceeded the 20-minute capability of ShadowPlay's DVR function, and therefore the first couple minutes here are going to be from the replay. And I thought this time, instead of doing the replay with the UI up at the top with the timer and everything, why not give you guys as cinematic as possible? So I turned off the UI because, well, why not? You can't really see the minimap, you can't see the battle feed at the bottom left, and you can't see the timer running, but I wanted to go for pretty this time. Also, not too much happens, as you'll see. A little bit happens, but you're not really missing anything. So I've got my STB-1 here, which I am greatly enjoying driving, though it is a bit pokey on the acceleration. And I had a 10% research booster on, and that was it. Nothing really big. And I was just doing some grinding. I've got a lot of French tank battles coming up right now on the channel because I'm still grinding through all the first 10s for French, and I just wanted to play something different to kind of break up the French over and over and over again. So I was playing a Japanese battle, and thankfully this one worked out. So if somebody comes up, I get a shot into him that didn't do a whole lot of damage, take a crippling shot through my breach in my turret there, and switch over to the machine guns to light up this AMX-30, who promptly finishes my crew with a heat round, but oh well, I guess that's going to happen. Now, while I was driving up, okay, you can see there's the AMX-30 and a KV-2 behind him. While I was driving up to the A point there in my STB-1, I would check the teams, and I noticed that I had one of my guys from my Discord server in the battle on the other team, Mark 1 Raven. So you'll see him throughout the battle as well as we get on here. Now, I had screen capped it, and I went to my Discord War Thunder channel and posted that screen cap and said, hey, look who I found. And while I'm spawning back in my M42 here and lamenting how slow it is as well, it was apparently fast enough as that shot went just behind me. Very nearly ended my battle right there, but I was able to thankfully speed away from it and get the heck out of Dodge and head back for the A point. Now I'm trying to ambush the AMX-30 that I'm pretty confident I can kill with the armor-piercing rounds in the M42, and I think I can do some damage to the KV-2, at least in his engine, or maybe track him. That's what I'm going for here. But anyway, I had gone to the War Thunder channel in my Discord and put a picture there, and usually anytime I run into somebody from my Discord or a YouTube subscriber, I'll usually put that up in the War Thunder channel in my Discord and just say, hey, look here, or I just post it and don't say anything, wait for them to notice. I thought for sure he would notice, but you'll see in the battle when we get to the actual in-game video, the non-replay part, you'll see when he notices. So I blew through the A point, no sign of the KV-2 or the AMX-30. You can see him there farther down the road a little bit, but no sign of them at the A point, so I just blew through, started the decap, and turned and went after them, where I can see their fighting going on with the mouse over here. So the KV-2 is back behind, and there we go, we've caught back up with the live video now. So the KV-2 was lit up behind this fence here, so I tried to put some shots into him, trying to blow through his engine deck, or hit the side of his turret here, which the 40 mils were just not doing it, so tried to flank around him and catch him from the side here. And you can see, obviously, the AMX-30 1972 is lighting up with his 20 mil cannon as well. I did kind of sneak around the KV-2 here, and I actually put some pretty decent shots into him, including a fire, and then tried to blow past him and get some shots into the AMX-30, but I end up hitting stairs here, and it just bounces my gun around enough that I can't get any good effective shots into the AMX-30 and end up getting burned down by another heat round, so 2 kills for him against me. Oh well. But thankfully for me, I had my whole reproduction, and doubly thankfully for me, my M42 Duster had gotten me enough score with the decap, and then the criticals I got on those guys to come back in my whole reproduction, which was good. So I did. Now the sound had given out on me a little bit here, so I went back and re-recorded the sound from the replay, so occasionally there'll be a slight echo effect here because the replay audio desyncs from the normal game audio sometimes. For the most part, I fixed it. But I couldn't quite get all of it, so there's a couple spots where there'll be sort of an echo effect, and there we go. There's Mark 1 Raven noticing that we're in the same battle. And of course, with the guys in my Discord that are active and have a back and forth and are involved in the conversation, I can't help but razz them a little bit, so. After the KV-2 fires right here, and I realize I can most likely get a shot into him across this bunker here, which I promptly set up and waited for, and then did. Finishing him off. I'm going to drive across this bunker and head to the B point, and then give Mark 1 Raven a little good-natured razzing there for taking that long to notice I was in the battle. And then it was time to go capture the B point, because there's been a lot of stalemating going on with the caps here, and it's fun, but I do want to win, and I'm going to push the team towards the win as much as I can help it. So I get into the B point here, the Leopard comes up and joins me on my right side, and just kind of scanning around a little bit, looking for any enemies, and just as I look back over to the left here, we're going to take a shot, which apparently hit my gun barrel, I think, but thankfully did not kill the Leopard to my right. So I get lined up where I can see the AMX-13 from, he pops back out, and I get a beautiful shot into his turret and knock out his turret through. And we simultaneously cap the B point, and the team was simultaneously starting to take the C point, so good little sequence there. Now I'm going to pull up here and sort of use these bushes for some cover and just kind of hold the B point here as well as I can. And generally watching for them to head for the A point. Now you can hear an airplane coming. You can see on the minimap we don't have any airplanes coming on our side, so that's probably bad news. Someone has made it to A. I wasn't able to see them cross by, if they even did cross by, and they didn't just come down out of the hills. But you can see it is a 84 French Sky Raider, and there he goes. He just went up overhead. So I'm going to take a peek for him, because that is a pretty dangerous, scary thing to be flying overhead of my Hori here. And I realize the direction he's coming in, I probably can get a shot at him, so I'm going to swing around, and the Hori Productions gun movement just isn't fast enough. Even though here I actually fired in front of him. I actually led my target by too much. I didn't kill him, but I imagine I caused some collateral damage in from all the pooing that he just did all over his cockpit there when he saw that 105mm shell fly in front of his face. Shot a bit too low on my follow-up shot there, but I'm pretty sure he was out of ordnance and heading home to land and rearm, so I can see that my boy Mark 1 Raven is in an M103, and he just took somebody out down near the A point, so that's where I'm heading. And as we come around the corner here, what's this? Eerily reminiscent. It's another 105mm self-propelled gun that I'm going to shoot at across one of these barricade things. And sure enough, kablooey! And then, what do we see over to the right? Why, it's an M103, and thank goodness he was looking away from me. Now, I think he just barely missed me here. I took a screenshot right before I shot him, then took another screenshot, and saved those two screenshots for the Discord in the War Thunder channel, like any good YouTuber would do with a Discord. Also, it's totally fair, because any of my guys, my subscribers, or my Discord members, who all better be my subscribers, anytime they see me in a battle and they kill me in a battle, you better believe they're screen capping that and putting it up in the Discord War Thunder channel too, which is totally fine. It's all's fair, and I'm not bothered by it at all. It's all part of the good game. So we're going to roll back up to the A point here and take it back for our team. And as I get parked behind this building here and get a little bit of cover, we're going to switch back over to the replay real quick, because this is where I kicked over and alt-tabbed out while I was capping and posted those screenshots to my Discord. for everybody to see, but I don't want you guys to see what my desktop or my Discord situation looks like, so we go over to the replay real quick, and then we'll pop back out of the replay after I was done, and you can see some aircraft overhead causing some problems. Now, MiG-9 got taken out by our Kugelblitz, good work, and then a Yak-9T shot down our FW-190, and then rolls back around and comes in for a strafing run here, which is not good news for either myself or the Leopard, who was right next to me at the A point. But thankfully, you can see that a different Leopard lit up that Yak-9T with both of his machine guns and pretty much prevented that Yak-9T from running rampant around the airfield. So, to paraphrase Toy Story, you have saved our lives. We are eternally grateful. And it was back off to defend the B point, or more or less investigate the C point and try to catch them coming down out of the hills from their spawn. Now, there's an AMX-30 up there that you may or may not have been able to see coming off the C point. So I am going to mark him on the map and then cut off to the right here and try to catch him moving in behind these rocks to my left and moving in for the capture on the B point. I slowed myself down a little bit by accident there on that rock, and that probably plays into what happens next. As I pull up here to set up for ambush, and then there's the AMX-30 behind me instead of coming in front of me. So, unfortunately, I'm trying to reverse back into position to get a shot at him. Cannot get the gun in position fast enough because the Ho-Ri Productions gun just doesn't swing side to side as fast as you really need it to. Now, I correctly assumed that he would continue around and come around here, but again, the Ho-Ri Productions gun just isn't going to move in time. There's a T-95 killing people, and I'm trying to figure out where he is, because I've got one of the guns that's capable of doing some pretty good damage to him. And I'm assuming the AMX-30 is going to come back around the right side of the building now. Assuming that I didn't see him, and the gun, again, just doesn't swing back. I'm hoping he's ducking back around again, and I'm just charging him this time, but unfortunately he played it right, and he was waiting for me, and takes out the engine, and of course, with my tank on fire, as I mark him, he backs off and shoots the gun barrel and takes the gun out. So I can neither move nor turn a turret because I don't have one, nor could I shoot when he drove past me, and that's pretty much it. So that's going to do it for the whole reproduction, unfortunately. But it was a pretty good run. So I chose to come back in my Kika. And there's a dot moving through the air. I take a quick look at the teams. We're doing all right, and here comes a dot, which is obviously going to be the AD4 coming back from his rearm. Pull a low ambush on him and get a pretty good hit into him. Crit him in the right wing. He should be having some trouble maneuvering now. And I'm going to roll back around in and see if I can find somebody. Now I can see the AMX-30 lighting up our Kugelblitz, but I do not have the turn to get in on him. And then I look, and there is the T-95 at the A point. So I'm going to come in, try and drop a low bomb on him. I was just a little bit too low. And I blew up an Object 120. So apparently my bomb flew a little long, and there was an Object 120 there. Unfortunately, there was also just a little revetment or turret, whatever you want to call it, crenellation, for you medieval castle nuts, on the top of that building, and I clipped it. Or maybe my bomb hit a little low because Raven says a little bit up and I would have hit it, so I'm not sure. Or he meant a little higher and I wouldn't have hit the building, I'm not sure. Either way, there's our AD4 off to the left again, still flying around. Damaged right wing and all. And I'm going to come in and try and drop this bomb and hopefully not kill my teammate Leopard. That bomb looked a little bit better, and sure enough, kablooey! I bagged my poor friend Mark 1 Raven again. Now there's our 84 out in the distance, and I'm not sure. Honestly, I didn't know if that was exactly the 84 or not, although I assumed he was by the large turns he's making, with a damaged right wing dragging him pretty badly. But I don't want to let him come in and drop any bombs on anybody, so with a bit of poor shooting here, I'm going to finish him off and finally pick his pilot. But don't worry, that's not the worst of the R2Y2 shooting you're going to see. So I can see somebody shooting at me here. I'm assuming it's probably Raven here firing away in his M48 or M60. M48 it looks like. So I made a strafing run on him and then decided, okay, we're alright. It's a stalemate right now. I'm going to run for home and land and get another bomb. So I am bugging out of the area with a little bit of damage. Nothing really serious. Nothing that's affecting the flight of my aircraft. Looking at the teams, and we got a guy who's got 0 score at all, and he's off to the side of the C point. So I just asked him, just please go cap something, man. We're too late in the battle, and it's a stalemate. We need people actively capping here. So he does, very much to his credit. He moves in almost immediately, and whether it was related to me asking him to or whether he just decided on his own doesn't matter. He went in and he started capping, so I don't care. So we're gonna bring the old R2Y2 in for a landing here to get another 800 kilo door buster. And sometimes it's a little tricky with these things, with the jets that don't have any kind of air brake to get them in and landed, but thankfully I was able to bring my Orca 2Y2 in for a gentle gliding stop here. And the rest of the Japanese ground crew were all very excited because, let me tell you, I've been to Japan and they love their killer whales there. So anytime one comes in and lands on an airfield, you know they're going to be excited. So anyway, brought it in using the 30mm brakes to bring it to a complete stop, and then we rearmed and got ourselves a new bomb. Now is a good time to go and grab yourself something to drink, or maybe even a snack, as we land and get ourselves a new bomb here. It'll only take about 20 seconds, so I'm not going to cut it out of the video. But the rest of the video should have quite a bit of action, so this will be the only really sort of quiet part for the rest of it. Ah, he wasn't an M48. There it is. I just saw it on the kill feed to the bottom right. It was Raven, and he got bombed again. Poor guy. So, letting the team know that I'm on my way back with a big bomb. They are decapping the A point, as you can see, and are now capturing it, so they didn't just drive through. We've got quite a healthy ticket lead, but still, they're going to bleed that out pretty fast if they start taking the caps back and we don't have very many ground units left. Now there's an AMX 30 1972 getting taken out. That is the one that had killed me in my whole reproduction. So he's been dealt with. And there's a T-54 taking out our Tiger II, and that leaves us with just the Leopard on the ground right now, as well as myself with a new bomb and the 234 heading back to the base. Except he decided to get a new airplane, or a new tank, I mean, which I'm totally fine with. I agree. Because I was thinking to myself, I need to get back on the ground too and get back into a tank here. So called out a warning to the team that there was more air coming in because we've only got the one tank right now, and then there's our 234 respawning. There's an aircraft up above. We've got 2 tanks down there. I'm going to go after the plane here and see if I can knock him out. Now, I'm guessing he did not see me coming as he's rolling back around in to try and go in on a strafe on our Tiger 105 there, or our mouse, actually, sorry. And with some rather poor shooting here, I did walk them in on him finally and take out his wing. And then somehow with much better shooting here in a rolling diving target, I got his pilot again as well for my second air kill. So the nice steady flying non-maneuvering target I had all kinds of trouble with, and then when he goes into a maneuver and rolls into a dive, I'm able to hit him real quickly. That's just the way it goes. So the skies are now clear. We've got quite a bit of a ticket bleed going on, and I'm trying to locate any sort of target at all. Anything. Looking for anybody. Don't see anybody threatening C. When the enemy is holding B, and I don't see anybody at A. Now, somebody just shot at me there, but they didn't really come close to me. And then, okay, there we go. I've located somebody. It's something firing machine guns at me out of their spawn. So I'm going to roll back in around there. And then you notice off to the side there were airburst explosions. So it is definitely some kind of SPAA, but there's also a tank firing at me. And as I'm rolling back in here trying to spot the SPAA because I'm taking him out if I can, somebody hits a tank here hiding in these rocks. So I come in, drop the bomb on him, and then pull up immediately into a climb, and I'm going to J out and get myself into a tank. It was a T-54. I did very light damage to him, nothing really serious at all. I had taken a couple hits from the AMX-13 DCA-30, and he got credit for the AMX-30 DCA, sorry, not 13. So, no problem, I was J'ing out anyways, didn't really matter. Come back in my Type 61. For some reason I chose the Type 61 over the Type 60 ATM, not really sure why. I'm just kidding, if you think I'm serious. And we're going to head back in for the cap and see if we can get the A point. Now, Raven, unfortunately for him and for his team, was still on team chat. Or on all chat, rather, not team chat. And so I had a little bit of a warning that AMX-30 DCA is probably coming to the A point. But I'm going to head to the A point just the same. I put up debated putting up some covering artillery there for our heavy at B, and I ultimately decided I better hold on to it just in case that SPAA does come to the A point and I need to fire artillery on the other side of a building or something. Now they have capped the C point, and we are now still taking the B point, doing pretty well there. And I'm going to bust through this fence here just in case I run into the SPAA on the far side of the fence. I don't want my heat round to get eaten by the fence. We capped B. Call out good work to our mouse over there. He's keeping us in this battle. And I've got a heavy tank coming in behind me to help me out at the A point, which is great. So I'm going to roll into A and immediately fire off all my smoke just in case any enemy air comes along and any tanks coming. And as long as I'm in the cap, I figure we'll put a little bit of artillery out in front of us to hopefully deter any enemies trying to counteract, or maybe even hit that SPAA that I'm expecting. We finish the cap, except we don't finish the cap. There's an enemy here in the A point. Now on the kill feed, notice an IL-4 just crashed. And also notice that Macabre killed the AMX-30 DCA. Just remember the IL-4 because it'll come into play in a moment. So we finish our cap on the A point. Do some good work by Macabre there, coming in and taking out the SPAA. That probably would have ripped me apart. And it was a really good battle back and forth. Ultimately, we lucked out and prevailed, but we could have lost this pretty easily. And there's the IL-4. Pretty funny. Checking into the hotel. But overall, a pretty good battle. I like long fights like this, or even just a good back and forth fight. And I like when I get 115,000 lions without a lion booster, too. That's also pretty darn sweet. So, there you see, just a 10% RP booster with a couple talismans here and there, but that's it. 8 total kills, 6 tanks, 2 planes, an assist, 3 caps, 5 deaths, but worth it because we won. Whole bunch of rewards there, and pretty good kill feed there. Ultimately triumphant. And that'll do. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I like good long battles. I know they take a little bit of time to watch, but I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know what you thought. We'll see you next time. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great day, everybody.